Hello everybody, Kirk here with Space Pickle Designs. Today I have an unboxing of the Soft Flex Design Challenge kit, and this is in the kit Badlands. So if you'd like to see what's in this beautiful package, then just keep on watching. So here's what you get in this kit, and well, excluding the speed strand, I did buy this separately. But it's curated with their kit. So I'm just gonna move this out of the way for now, and we'll get to the strand at the end. But I did want to say I do keep these strings in here, and I put them in my scrap pile, and sometimes I will reuse them for sending out packages, or I'll make tassels out of them. But I always keep my scraps, and as you can see, I've got scraps of soft flex and wire in there as well. And there's always good uses for those. So if you need some ideas on what to use with scraps of wire, like cording, just let me know. Maybe I can make a video for you guys. I also keep the tissue paper because as a small business owner, I just like to reuse and recycle as much as possible. So getting into the kit, let's just go ahead and go one by one. I love the metal tone for this month. It is copper, so naturally they gave a Soft Flex copper medium color, or medium beading wire in the color copper, of course. And this is one of my favorites. I just love that it's like that in between matte and shiny, so it's like that satin color right there. And I should show you my Soft Flex stash. Like it's pretty shameful, honestly. Like I have a whole cart full of Soft Flex, but it just performs so well and holds up over the test of time, and so I just really like it. So the next one is going to be our crimp tubes here, and these are our copper crimp tubes. And if you are familiar with Soft Flex, their copper crimp tubes in particular are a little thicker. Their walls are a little bit thicker, so just be mindful of that. But they are beautiful, and they still work well in the magical crimper. Next up is copper ear wires with ball, and if you haven't bought from my shop before, I almost exclusively use Soft Flex ear wires. I will buy them in bulk, like 100 pairs at a time, and the fulfillment person in their warehouse is probably like, what is this person doing with all these ear wires? But I just really like them. I like how sturdy they are. I like how they're not too long to where they don't like scratch the back of your neck. And I just really like the color, especially the silver ones that they have. It's a bright silver. It's not that like stainless steel silver color. So these are my favorite, and I get to add these to my stash for sure. We also get this 12mm copper lobster claw clasp, and I love her. I can't wait. I love that they give you findings, and when I travel, so I travel a lot, right? A lot of times I will take one of their kits and just my tools, and that's what I have to travel with. Maybe a couple extra things, like a couple extra ear wires or clasps or like cotton cording or whatever, but that's about it. And I wait until I'm at my destination and I open up the little design kit, and it's just a lot of fun. We have two colors of rondelles here. We have the turquoise color and the amber color, and they are so beautiful. We have to make something like really dainty with this. I'm thinking like just a simple chained bracelet, maybe a 2-strand bracelet with these, with simple loops with copper colored wire. I'll just bring that from my stash. I'll use Soft Flex for that, but I think just like this color combination is so nice. I even like it more than turquoise and red. Turquoise and red I really do like, but it is a very like southwestern reminding like look. So toning the red part down a little bit with this copper color is really nice. It's really good for fall. This is my favorite bead out of the box, and this is a check glass orange nugget bead, and this is in like a frosted topaz color. And just look at how like smooth and velvety they look. I love these so much. I can't wait to use these. I think I'll use 3 in a focal of a necklace. I'm already getting ideas, and I was looking at the remaining items in the box, and I'm already getting the vibes because I didn't know there was a patinaed piece in here, and I'll show you that next. So this is a 26mm copper verdigris plated weathered compass, and I love this. This is so stunning. This is definitely up my alley. I love weathered looking things, and just like look at it with like the soft like sea glass looking check beads here. I just love that weathered look, and this is a really unique take on fall, and so I'm really excited to get started with this kit. Next up here, these are called light brown barrel beads, and these are ceramic. They're definitely like a dried corn kernel kind of color, and they have a large hole there, so there's lots of options with these. And so like it's sad we only get 5, but I think that this is going to be a really stunning addition to a project. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, it says 9 by 8mm check glass chili pepper color beads, and I think this is them, but I think it's definitely more of like, it looks like maybe an 8 by 6 kind of. I don't think it's a 9 by 8. I don't know. I don't have my calipers on me, so I'm not sure, but it's definitely like a faceted rondelle and like an AB coating here. Like definitely that chili pepper coating or whatever they have for check glass is all up in there, and it's a beautiful color. Here's that with the copper rondelles. Here's that with the turquoise rondelles. This is a really cohesive kit. All right, next we have the Jesse James beads bead mix in Badlands, and so let's just dig into it. All right, so here is what we get. Let's go through it. We get 2 of these. I call these beads shotgun shells. I think that's just me being from the country, but they look like shotgun shells to me. We get these really big rondelles here in this like matte metallic, like blue and gold color. Those are really, really pretty. We've got these focal beads here, and it's like a bead with an inlay, but also like, it looks like jump rings were used on these, but they're like so unique and so cool. We've got some faceted barrel beads here with an AB coating, very beautiful. We've got some like Rivoli pendants here in a cobalt color. We've got some smaller rondelles in a matte color here, in that matte cream color. We've got 2 of these little rice beads in like a true topaz. We've got some disco ball beads here in a darker topaz. We've got some almost seed beads in a faux turquoise, if you can see that. They almost look like they could be, they're like a 6/0 size, but they're definitely like more rounded, so they're definitely just small rounds. We've got some more faceted rondelles that will match those disco ball beads here. Those faceting patterns are pretty similar, so that's pretty cool. I love these ceramic beads here. These are really, 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 really pretty, and again, like adds to that weathered look. We've got some turquoise coated cube crystals here. This is a very moody, like a very moody mix. We've got 3 little, I don't know if this was a mistake to have these in here, but there were 3 little glass seed beads in there. It looks like what you would use on a strand to like space out beads. We've got some like little pumpkin spacers here. We've got 2 giant like antique copper, like if you can see the detail in those are little heart shapes. But this is a big mama here, this hole is, and so we can probably put silver silk on that, so I'll keep that in mind. We have a whole bunch of bead caps this time around, and so that's kind of nice because it will help go with some of these other beads that we got in the box and like help out with that like just different look, so you have a lot of options. We have some metal spacers here They're bumpy, they're cute. We have 2 puffed square beads here with a geometric pattern on them. And then we have some spacers here, some like 5-point spacers with dots in that same metal tone. So all in all, this is a very moody, very appropriate mix, and it's not often you see a 2-tone blue mix from what I remember. So like the turquoise is usually like the focal, or the cobalt is the focal, but we have both in this mix, and so it's kind of really like a fresh take on design. Lastly, I'm going to show you up close and personal the Jesse James bead companion strand in Badlands. And so here we go. Here I love these like faux turquoise rondelles along with those spacers there. We've got another topaz bead. I love the opal metal crystal bead here. I love that so much. We have another faux turquoise, a couple of those giant star spacers. I think this is a very cohesive strand. I love the texture of this bead, and I love the uniqueness of this bead cap. It's a tri-point bead cap here, but it's very large, and it looks like it was like custom made for the strand, which it probably was. But it's very, very cute, and I'm already like getting necklace vibes from this, so we'll see. And I think I want to bring in some more of this blue. I have some blue cording here. It's just like a little bit off. I don't think it would look too off in a piece. I'm thinking about some cotton cord knotting. But yeah, that's what you get. And I really do like this strand. I think it's very, very pretty. All right, so I laid the beads out so you can kind of see the palette. Let's not forget about our goodies here in the crimp tubes and the soft flex beading wire here. But just for the sake of the palette, just take it all in, take it all in. And I think what we're gonna do, since I've been kind of MIA, like my life has been crazy, I think I owe it to you guys to give you a little bit of tutorial. So let's go ahead and make some earrings with this mix here. But look at it. Isn't she gorgeous? She's gorgeous. It's such a refreshing take on fall. I love it. All right, so first pair of earrings are these silver silk pipe chain earrings. And this is the finished product. This is what we'll be doing. And so the supplies are going to be a 4-inch piece of pipe chain. And this is a brown with a copper chain on it. And I thought it was just so perfect for this box. I have a 6.5 piece of soft flex 20 gauge non-tarnished copper wire. But if it tarnished, it would be okay, you know, just saying. We also have one of the ear wires from the box. We have that ceramic bead and one of those like pumpkin beads that we saw from the mix. And we have a 2-inch head pin, and this is also a soft flex head pin here in copper. And I also buy those by bulk, so you know. But what we're gonna do here, we're gonna start off with the dangly piece, and we're gonna put that that ceramic bead on the head pin here. We're gonna put that pumpkin bead here, and we are going to make a simple loop. Here's my Xeron pliers. A simple little loop here, and I actually do want this to be small, so what I'm gonna do is use these are my Beadalon like fine nib pliers here, and it's just gonna be like the smallest little loop ever here because I wanted it to be pretty like petite. And so you can like finesse this a little bit. There we go. So here's our little piece. What we want to do now is make sure the ends of our silver silk here, as you can see, there's like, this one's off to a diagonal a little bit. Just make it straight and make sure there's no like loose ends of wire. And so You just want the ends to look nice because they're not going to be covered up. So as you can see here, there's some like little bit of metal here. You just pull it, flatten it down, roll it out a little bit. You just cut that little piece off and you should be good to go. So here's our clean ends here. And so what we want to do is put our wire. This is our 6.5 inch piece of wire. And you only want about maybe a 1/2 inch, a little more than 1/2 inch out. And don't worry about the shape right now. We can figure that out later, but we want to do the small and the large like this. So like make them perpendicular. And so what you can do actually with this soft flex wire, you can really make the wraps with your finger. You can use your pliers if you prefer, but I'm doing 2 wraps. And so we're just kind of like forming everything as it goes here. I want those wraps to be down. You can also use your nylon jaw pliers and pull a little bit on that wire. Make sure it gets into place. So you are picking a back side. So keep that in mind. So we are also going to do a simple loop with this. And we're just gonna put right there, and then we have our fine nib pliers, and we're gonna make a really, really small loop. What you want to do with this loop though, you make 1 wrap, and then you have your back side of the piece, which is where you cut. You see that? That's your little edge piece there, and you want to warm this up with your fingers or your nylon jaw pliers, and you just want to make a little loop. And this is where you kind of compare to your other piece, like how long did I make this? Is it comparable? Because you can always kind of like shorten it a little bit, but I'm not too butthurt about that because it's pretty much the same. And so what you do is you make 1 loop, and I bring it down to the bottom right there underneath the wraps that we already made. And then this is where I take my nylon jaw and kind of have it right there, but then you see this gap in between. There's like a gap where you can hide a tail, and so I use my pliers, and then I kind of just feed that little tail into that corner. So then you take your nylon, you straighten up everything, right? Since this is a copper color, normally like most wires have copper underneath, right? And so if you like scrape off the finish, it's gonna look different or whatever. But since this, like, you don't have to be too careful with copper, which is nice. And so this is your front and this is your back. So you have 1 little loop, and because this is 20 gauge, it's very, very strong. Even though it's a craft wire, it's like dead soft. And so I put my ear wire on, right? And then we take our component from earlier and we just attach it. And I've done this earring in a lot of different like materials and styles, and I just think like this just holds up. It's just always good looking no matter what you do. And you don't have to buy the silver silk findings. So the silver silk findings are amazing, obviously, and here I have some. If you want to do the dangle in the middle, I find it kind of difficult to do so with the silver silk findings, but that's just like a user preference. I do buy them for other things, but for this one I did not use them. So here are your earrings. Beautiful, beautiful. And I love how that copper tone like really brings out that copper in the silver silk pipe chain. So here's our first pair. All right, next pair is this beautiful little shotgun shell-esque pair here. I just really wanted to make earrings with these, and I really like the combination of metal tones. I just think it works. So what we're gonna do here, make sure that your shotgun shell has the gold on top, if that's how you want to recreate this, but we're doing a simple loop. So I'm just pointing it off to the side here. Again, this is one of those soft flex head pins, and we're going to make sure that it's not too big, like that. And I'm really liking these little pliers. They don't look like much, right? But they're very fine. And so I kind of like that detail work here. So this is what we're looking like. I'm also going to use some, again, that 20 gauge soft flex here. And I'm warming it up with my fingers. And I'm putting on one of the bead caps from the mix. A big old rondelle from the mix. And another bead cap. And I am going to level off the end. I'm gonna take my Xeron pliers. I love these Xeron pliers. These are my workhorse pliers. Make a little bend here. Again, using those really fine nib pliers. You make adjustments as necessary. Here's our loop. We can adjust it at the end. Again, we want to make sure that we're just doing simple loops here. I don't like the extra length that wrap loops give. I know there are people that love wrap loops. I'm just not that person. I love using a chunky wire and just using simple loops. So what I like to do now is kind of level out my loops, make sure they are going the same direction. And I pick the smaller loop because, you know, this is organic a little bit. And I make sure that that's the top loop. So assembly is just opening up your bottom loop, which is normally the bigger one. Put it back together. And then we have our ear loop. And these have no, like, you don't need to make sure there's a certain side for these. And yeah, here you go. These are our little earrings. I think they look so cute. They're very unique. With commercially produced earrings, you really don't see like a lot of this mixed metal tone action going through. I think that's a little bit like scary for a lot of people, but when you look at a piece like this, like, you can just see that it goes. So okay, so these are our earrings that we made for this little unboxing. There's so many more beads left, as you can see here. Like, I didn't use any of these beads. I still have a whole strand of beads. I have like a bead strand. I have a pendant. I have soft flex beading wire. I have crimp tubes. Like, I haven't even scratched the surface of this box yet. I have made two beautiful pair of earrings with only the help of like some head pins and some silver silk. So let me know down in the comments below what you'd like to see from this box. I'm really thinking of a knotted project for this box. I've really been into knotted items for the past month or so, but I hope everybody is staying safe and well, and thank you for hanging in there with me. I know my uploads are a little sporadic, but we are getting close to 2,000 subscribers, so I would love it and appreciate it if you would share my channel on your social media if you feel inclined to do so, and so we can hit that 2,000 mark and we can have a giveaway, a special giveaway with a very special sponsor. So anyway, I'll see you in the next one, guys. I hope you're staying safe and well. Bye.